Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to show you guys. This is the Microtech Mini MSI in aluminum, which right off the bat I'm going to tell you I think is the best version of this. It's the best value as of right now. This is obviously the price on this right now is the best price that you're going to get, and I don't trust Microtech to keep these prices even remotely stable. Obviously, all prices go up over time. It's not uncommon for companies to do a price increase, but Microtech does them in the most arbitrary, ridiculous, like we see price increases across the board for so many of their products. And right now, in this exact moment, I think this aluminum one is priced decently, and I think this is the best version. I'm going to go over this. I really enjoyed carrying this knife. It's really cool, but if you're watching this 2 years in the future, or a year in the future, or maybe even 3 months in the future, you're going to look at the price tag and go, what the heck is he talking about? Because Microtech will be like, oh, we increased the price by $90 because I saw a pelican today. Or, you know, because 2 + 2 = 4. Or I jumped in the ocean and the ocean was wet. Price increase. That's seemingly the reasoning behind the price increases with Microtech. And it's just insane because they have so many good products. They have so many incredible products, and they actually make changes to things that I think are meaningful and purposeful, and you know, it's just they make us pay so much for it, and it's frustrating as a Microtech fan. Thank you so much to eKnives for supplying this knife for review. I don't get to keep it. It's going to go back. Honestly, I'm probably going to buy one. This is a really, really good EDC knife. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. I am going to link this knife down in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. The overall length of the MSI Mini substantially smaller than the bigger brother, the full size, which we'll look at here in a second. 7.5 inches, blade length about 3.25, and your cutting edge about 2.85 inches. Here it is. Whoops. Here it is up against the full size MSI, which I also really like. Mine's in full titanium with original goat scales, but you can see here the full size is a monster. They almost need an in-between. I'm not saying, I mean, they don't. They could, if they wanted to, make an in-between size. But you have two options. It's almost like you have small and XL is what we're looking at here. But this is a great EDC size. This is like big and burly and over the top. And if you like to carry big, burly, over the top knives, or you have actually monstrous hands, then you're going to want to go with this one, right? But we'll flip them over just because the camera, like the angle of it, you know, it doesn't give you the perfect accurate size between top and bottom. So there you go. Let's go ahead and put it up against my own Excalibur and my Mini Excalibur. A pen is rolling into frame. I'm gonna have to throw you. There we go. Where's the Mini? There it is. So the my Mini Excalibur is almost exactly the same size. Let's measure again. I think that perhaps the Mini MSI is slightly smaller. Yeah, I was wrong. It's not quite 7.5. It's 7.35. Whereas my Mini Excalibur is exactly 7.5 inches. So blade length probably almost exactly the same. Maybe mine's a hair longer, but relatively the same size. If you have my Mini Excalibur and you like it, you're going to like the size of this one, and you're going to like the manipulation, the ergonomic lines, all of that, because it is very similar. Let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2. And the Spyderco Para 3. Is the PM2 out here today? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Very similar, once again, to the Spyderco Para 3 as well. The Para 3 is 7.25 inches, so this is just a little longer. It's just a straighter knife with slightly longer, I mean, straight like the lines of the knife are straighter. The Para, almost everything is. The Para 3 is such a weird looking knife. But the lines here are straighter, and we have more cutting edge on the Mini MSI. And then finally, up against the Benchmade Group Tillian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca, which this is also similar to in profile. It's just that the Deca is longer. How's the action? This is Microtech's Ram Lock, and I have to point this out. This knife is so big in my hands that I find that this size is actually easier to manipulate with the ram lock. This guy is huge, especially on deployment with it having the slot here. This has these perfect, big, wide thumb studs. I love these. These are so easy to manipulate the knife with. And with that, the length of the knife, being able to brace it in my palm and pull back on this ram lock, which I already love because it operates similarly to a crossbar lock, but it doesn't engage with the same surface. And it also uses a coil spring instead of Omega springs, making it infinitely more reliable. But realistically, not only is disengaging it a little bit more, let's just say I feel less likely to drop it because of how I'm bracing against my palm, but also engaging with the thumb studs. I missed it there. Engaging with the thumb studs either for the reverse flick or the thumb flick. And I think maybe just because leverage, due to the length of the blade and the weight and mass of the blade and the positioning of the thumb studs, I think that this actually is easier to manipulate and I prefer it. That's something I very much appreciate. Obviously, we have really good action. It's a Microtech, right? You pull back here and it's going to drop the blade. Everything feels incredibly crisp, very high quality, very tight, very secure. I have no issues whatsoever. And again, I have to reiterate, those big wide thumb studs are awesome. They are so good. Let's go ahead and do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This guy is very similar. These are contoured scales, so it's maybe a little bit wider. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is a beautifully simple knife to carry. The pocket clip does come down on the frag tech string. In this case, we'll talk more about that. It's not going to be on all of the knives. But your actual carry profile makes this a very, very comfortable and compact object to carry. Let's go ahead and weigh it. So what are we looking at for materials? There are versions of this knife in titanium. It wouldn't surprise me if there are versions of this knife in, injection mold plastic and G10 and all of that. This is an aluminum, and I think that that's going to end up being, the best feeling of quality and the overall, textured aluminum with Microtech is really nice. And it's, it's like how different could it be between other companies? Microtech does a really, really good job with aluminum. And if you've ever handled Microtech products, you know this. That's why I really enjoy this one, especially considering the price difference between this and titanium. So anyways, specifically for the aluminum one, we have obviously, in this case, frag textured aluminum. And then you have, in this case, it's a two-tone, wouldn't be my choice, but a two-tone M390 MK blade. In the past, they had been a little low on their HRC. According to Taylor's recent testing, they have been consistently above 60, which is awesome. That's where it should be. Fluid ounces. The weight on this guy is coming in at 3.6 inches for roughly 3¼ inches of blade. Pretty good ratios. And your balance, there's an alarm on my phone that's going off. Sorry about that. The balance is right behind the pivot, making the whole thing just feel phenomenal. It's lightweight, but not so lightweight that you'll forget that it's in your pocket, or not so small that you'll forget that it's in your pocket. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. I think the pivot's a T15. Yeah. So it's not quite as big as like the bigger brother, but it's still a freaking T15 pivot. The only thing that's a little weird is like all of the, I don't know that we needed to screw this stop pin in, right? But you have all these little body screws that I think end up still being T8. Yeah. No, they might even be, is that too small? That's a T7. Sorry, I was being stupid. They're all T8. So, it's a few extra screws, but I mean, like, honestly, even the pocket clip screws are T8. If you're going to have too many screws, as long as they're at least T8, I don't really care too much. This is a really easy knife to take apart and put back together, in my opinion. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's measure the blade stock thickness because I think it's obvious that the little guy is thinner than the big guy. Yeah, this guy's 127 thousandths, whereas the big guy is probably like at least 155. Yeah, 158 thousandths, so it's quite a bit thinner. All right, meat and potatoes, meat and potato time. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite times. I love meat and potatoes. You guys like meat and potatoes? I'm a big fan of steak and potatoes. Anyways, it's the MSI, but smaller, more compact. This makes sense. In a lot of ways, this is like what I want the 940 to be. I think that this has better cutting geometry than the 940. It has that similar look, right? In this case, I'd call it sheep's foot, but the 940 has that reverse Tanto. Kind of has that similar profile. This looks a little beefier, a little sturdier without being that much bigger of a knife. It also just oozes machining quality and execution. It looks like a modern pocket knife, feels like a modern pocket knife, and doesn't take away from everything that you expect your modern pocket knife to be able to do. We want these to lock up securely. Ideally, they would be ambidextrous. This is, right? The lockup on these newer ram locks has always been really, really good. I know that in the past, these things, maybe had some slippage issues, but all of these newer ram locks have been great. This is no different. Love the coil spring, love the ease of manipulation, and the coil spring, makes for enough tension that while it doesn't have like that satisfying detent break, it is really easy. I think largely, again, thanks to the positioning and the size of the thumb studs here, it makes it very easy to manipulate. You can see there I'm reverse flicking it, but really good. Ergonomically, all of the edges are nicely knocked down. It looks like it would be angular and sharp. It isn't. It's really comfortable. The choke up spot is really, really good. The jimping right here could have been slightly deeper. I feel like the big one here is just deeper because it's big, like it just is. These are bigger and further apart. I think these could have been a little bit, but not that big of a deal. Honestly, the lock-in on this knife is really good. This has the frag, which is what I would go with, but I think they also do them smooth and perhaps even another texturing. I like the frag. The downside to the frag is that the pocket clip is going to sit right on top of the texturing. And while the frag offers meaningful traction and grip when you're squeezing in the hammer grip or like this or whatever, you are going to drag the pocket clip. You're going to drag your pocket like in between that texturing and your pocket clip. So you have to kind of ask yourself, do I want smooth texturing or do I want that extra grip? And honestly, the lock-in on this knife is good enough that unless you're working in like a super slick environment, you probably don't need the extra texturing. It's going to come down to preference. The MSI, in a lot of ways, looks like a lot of other pocket knives. And then again, the MSI is kind of instantly recognizable as its own thing. And that's something that you have to appreciate about Microtech knives. They really don't make anything that's boring. They make things that are more or less like minimal, but Microtech knives all have a very distinct tactical modern look that oozes that, kind of that impression of quality. And that's what's going on here with the MSI. But the MSI still is just a really, really well-designed tool that can be used consistently, daily. And it'll be able to be used for days or years or, not days, of course days, right? Of course years, but decades. This knife will be just fine. And that's something that I just really like about Microtech knives in general, is you can trust that they will continue to hold up to use and in some cases a little bit of abuse. I don't recommend it, but they can stand up to it, This does have a bunch of crap on it. It says Bowler M390 MK made in the USA. That's great. Maybe just M390 MK. And then, Microtech knives are made in the USA, unless you're buying a Chinese clone. Which, boo, that sucks. No one's forcing you to do that. You can just buy a nice, authentic, Chinese pocket knife, and it doesn't have to be a Microtech, right? But people get mad at me. People still get mad at me, like, how I can't afford the real thing. No one's telling you. No one's coming down on you for not being able to afford an authentic Microtech. There are plenty of authentic Chinese products out there that are not clones or copies or counterfeits that you can buy for the same or less. I completely understand, needing to fit your, EDC into a budget, but nobody's forcing you to buy a clone or counterfeit. So my answer is the same as it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, when people got mad at me the first time. My answer is, boo, you suck, loser. Buy the real thing or buy something authentic from China that is not a clone, counterfeit, or copy. That's how it should be. And if you don't like that, then what you should do is go cry on Reddit, and then I'll ignore it and continue to say the same thing anyway for the entirety of the time that I am on YouTube, which looks to be for quite a while. But anyways, the overall profile, really good. Very easy to manipulate, safe, secure, strong lockup, good blade steel, good combination of materials. Choose the texturing that you want, right? Backspacer, simple, slightly raised, little gear pattern, kind of some additional. I mean, I appreciate that they go out of their way to do something a little bit different rather than just flat and cog. I think that's nice. This has the birthday on the pocket clip. The pocket clip is not milled. It's just a stamped steel clip. But you know what? It works. I wish their screws were recessed. Like, I wish that they had sunk them down in there like this, or just use like flat screws or something. But okay, all right, no big deal. It is an ambidextrous pocket clip with a filler tab. I don't really care that the filler tab's not black. Some people might, right? Flip it over to the other side if you're left-handed or if you just want to carry it on that side. Your lockup, completely and totally solid. A little bit of shouldering. Yeah, slight shouldering right there. Big old fat stop pin there. No blade play up, down, left, or right. No stick, no pivot lash. Sorry, my camera shut itself off to remind me that my phone needed an update. That's annoying. It is smooth and consistent in here. And we still have absolutely perfect centering from when eKnife sent it in, which was not long ago, right? But we can usually expect Microtech knives to be centered and maintain that centering as long as you make the proper adjustments over time. The base price of this knife is $274 at the moment. Does that price tag blow me away? No. This is an American-made product, though. It's not a Chinese product. So for people saying you can get aluminum and M390 for a lot less, yeah. Usually when it's made in China. Now, on top of that, even if you can find American products that are made with similar materials for less money, usually the reason is because there's not a lot of the, contouring or technical machining that you would see in Microtech knives. A lot of times, like some of the less expensive American products are just simpler. They have less machining time, which does absolutely factually equate to, less cost. It costs more money to do something like this. So I appreciate that. That being said, it still doesn't absolutely blow me away, but I think it's pretty good. I think this combination right here, the aluminum version of this knife, is probably the best deal. The titanium, obviously, you're going to pay like $200 more. So I think it's actually more than that. I think it's like $250 more. And I don't love that, but we're not talking about the titanium one today. We're talking about the aluminum one. At $274, I recommend it. If they decide that the base price of this is going to be over $300, I would say at that point it's overpriced and you should maybe look elsewhere. But the base price at $274 at the moment I think is pretty good. So if you're thinking about picking one up, number one, do I recommend it? Absolutely. This is a great EDC knife. Really good. Perhaps one of the best EDC knives as far as like compact EDC stuff that Microtech has released. It's one of their best ever. It's really, really good. At $274, it's good. If they decide that it's got to be over $300, which eventually they will, and it probably won't be too long from now, then I would say shop elsewhere. But at the moment, recommendable. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.